Hi, everyone. Happy Monday. My name is Victoria Satan. You are joining me for Monday's Muse, your weekly wellness dose. And today we have Susan Gibson, the owner of many awesome tea and donut and shake shops here locally in Louisville, Kentucky. We are going to have her on soon, so let me go ahead and request her, and we will get right into it. Hope y'all are having a great Monday. I am back from sunny Florida. Anna Maria Island, um, in Sarasota. It was absolutely amazing. I was there with some Arbonne ladies, and we definitely enjoyed the sunshine and all of these amazing products at launch. So I feel like I can kind of hear Susan, but I can't see her yet. Hey, so yes, we'll just wait for her to get to join us. But yeah, you're in for a great chat. Our discussion today is about more than supplements. You know, we hear about supplements all the time. There's so many different companies. We actually both represent different companies in the wellness circle. So I think this is really cool to be able to collaborate like this and chat about lots of different things in wellness. Let's see if we can get her on here. All right, let's see. I'm gonna sip on. We have some new fizz that just launched. I'm drinking that, some pineapple fizz. It's so good. It smells so good. All right, let's see. Hey. How are you?
I'm great.
Good. Now let me go ahead and introduce you formally. So Susan has been coaching her clients on nutrition and fitness for almost 12 years, specializing in weight loss and sports performance. Not only has she helped her clients lose fat, gain muscle, and increase their athletic performance, but she too has gotten amazing results. And I can attest to that because I have seen her. She doesn't look like she's ever had a child, which is amazing. So she was able to lose 7.3 pounds, 3.3% body fat in 25 days, and bounce back from a healthy pregnancy, which is amazing. So kudos to you. That's mom goals, and you know, one day for me too. That's my goal is to have a healthy pregnancy and and everything, and postpartum and everything. So that's amazing. So yes, thank you so much for joining us. And I also like to do a quick disclaimer for those that will continue to join us and those that will watch the replay, that we are not doctors or your doctor. So please, before you make any changes to your diet, consult with your physician, your personal care physician, because we want to make sure that these are the right changes for you and for your body, because everybody is different and every body is different. So I like to throw that out there. But first, Susan, why don't you tell those that are watching and those that will watch the replay a little bit more about yourself other than what I just mentioned?
Yes. No. First of all, thank you so much for having me on.
Absolutely.
Live with you. This is such an honor. I really love connecting with other, business women, people who are in health and fitness. I really gravitate towards that. So I really appreciate us having this opportunity to, maybe inspire, if not one or more people today. And so thank you so much. But yeah, so I guess I've been into health and nutrition for a good part of my life. Even when I was in high school, always trying to be active in sports and just different types of activities. And then even growing up into more endurance sports as I got older. Always had an interest in it. But the weird thing is I actually never went to school for nutrition or fitness or, got a I think a lot of times people get like personal training certifications and everything like that. It's all really been, self-taught and learning from other, doctors and nutritionists out there, and just kind of really just guiding other people on what I've learned and just kind of like coaching them through the process, right? Because kind of like what you're saying, we're not doctors or anything, but can we take the information that we've learned and then pass it on to others? But I grew up on the East Coast. I moved out to the West Coast after college,
Wow.
and was out there for a good chunk of time, not just soaking up the sun, but also being very active, riding my bike, running everywhere. And I went into the corporate world, and I will probably touch on this as we continue, but never had an idea that I could get into health and wellness, and even that it was a passion of mine, until I really started to focus on, like, what do I really enjoy doing? And I love being outdoors, and I love helping others. And when I was working my corporate job, I was laid off, and it really just got me a chance to focus on, like, okay, what do I really want to do? And that's when I started looking into nutrition and fitness, and was very fortunate to be a part of a group of people who were up to similar things. And so was doing this out in California for a long time, and then saw some opportunities to grow my business and actually branch off into doing something a little different, which would be opening up one of our nutrition shops out here. And it's been a whirlwind, 2 years here now in Kentucky, and then also just really like enjoying meeting people, getting to know this area, being back on the East Coast, eastern side, I should say, of the United States. This is my first non-coastal state that I've ever lived in, so.
Oh. Which I'm sure is a big change.
Yeah.
But hopefully Kentucky's been good to you.
Yes.
It's a good place. And that's cool also. Well, it's not cool that you lost your job, but sometimes I think those things can be what we need to push, to kind of propel us in the right direction. Just like we look back at 2020, I know for me personally, and I'm sure a lot of people in the world, it was crazy and not good in a lot of ways, but could be good if you tried to find some type of positivity in it, to have everyone just sit down and really evaluate our lives and everything that we're doing. And do I love this? Am I passionate about this? Do I need to do something else? Or can I dial back here, or maybe put some more energy into something else? So that's cool that you did that. So explain to us, what exactly do you do? I know you own, for those that don't know, all of your different shops and one that's coming soon.
Yes. So right now I'm sitting in Broadway Nutrition. So this is our shop down in the downtown area on Broadway. And this was I opened 2 years ago. We had our 2-year anniversary at the beginning of the month. So that was really exciting. Yeah.
Yes.
So, and here, so when, in all of our shops, really, like, it's an opportunity for people to get, healthy food on the go. And a lot of what we serve here are healthy meal replacement smoothies and energizing B vitamin boosted teas. And then of course, protein snacks and the sort. And so part of what I do is I operate, this shop where people can come in on the daily, grab their healthy breakfast, grab their healthy lunch. And then, a lot of times when people do come in, they're trying to, in a sense, live a healthier life. And so sometimes, people are looking to lose weight. Sometimes they're looking for more energy. And so this is where it's an opportunity to offer my services of, hey, if you ever want to learn, how you can do this on the daily, where I can coach you through the process and help you reach your goals, that's another option too. And so that's just it's kind of like the behind the bar kind of work, so I get to see people every day, which is awesome, really get to create some amazing relationships with the community. And then for those that are looking for that extra little boost, that extra help and coaching, then I have that ability to offer that to them as well. And so, but yes, we have this shop here, Broadway Nutrition. Back in January, we got to open Bullet Blends, which is down in Shepherdsville, Kentucky. And then a lot of people from Mount Washington are coming all the way to Shepherdsville and vice versa. And so then we just made the decision that, hey, why not and just go for it? And we'll figure it out as we go. But we are in the process of getting it's called Eastside Blends, open at we're going to say the middle of June.
Awesome.
Just to be safe.
Congratulations. That's amazing. 2 years and all that progress.
Yes. Well, and it's crazy because, with COVID and all of what's been going on downtown, it's funny because people are like, oh my gosh, you must be booming, and I'm like, well, no, not exactly. Like Broadway does well, we're working through all of like the traffic congestion and the construction and the protesting and all of that fun stuff. But at the same time, I think, similar to you, our mission is to get as many people healthy as possible. And the only way we're going to do that is if we increase our reach. And so that was one of the decisions of like, okay, could we be doing better at this, first location? Of course. But do we want to wait, and put off when we can do now? And so then that's where the decision to open up our second location came in.
Awesome. That's great. So what made you get into wellness? I love to ask this.
Yeah. There's two distinct memories that I have because, I've been part of the actively working in the health and wellness industry for a little over 12 years. But I've always, as I shared, I've always been passionate about it, always been interested in it. And I do remember one time I was at a restaurant and, people just getting to chat and stuff like that. And I remember a gentleman, he was just like, so what are you passionate about? And I didn't have a good answer for him. And it really kind of hit me to where I'm just like, what am I passionate about? And then I started realizing like I really enjoy helping others. And I really enjoy, learning about nutrition and fitness. And then there was this other time when I was at my corporate job where I was in the kitchen. I remember it so vividly because I'm in the kitchen and this other woman, a little bit heavier set, and she's, toasting a bunch of bread and then spraying, the butter spray. And keep in mind, this was like, 15 or so years ago. But, and I was like, oh, what is that? And she's like, oh, this is breakfast for me and the girls. And I'm like, that's all you're going to have, because like they were on a diet. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like I would starve. Like there's no way I can survive that. But what dawned on me was that there's a lot of people out there that just don't have the right information and or know how to take all the information that's out there and funnel it down to what they can actually apply in real life. And so those two events kind of really got me focused on like, wow, like I do have an interest in helping others. I do have an interest of helping people, reach goals, but I had no idea how I was going to do that. And like you said earlier, it just happened that having gotten laid off my job really got me forced into thinking, okay, now that I'm in a sense free to do what I want, what do I really want to do? And so then I started looking into getting into the industry. And so never did I thought that I would actually work for myself, but kind of fell into that. And I resisted for a little bit, but I'm also stubborn, very stubborn to not give up either.
That's awesome. And sometimes that's the best thing is, some things, they turn out the best that way,
Yes.
Not necessarily planning this, but it just kind of fell in your lap and you just went with it. And
yes,
great. That's awesome. So in that same vein, then, how have you seen supplementation be valuable to your clients? And before you answer, I just want to kind of like comment on that because I hear a lot of times from different trainers and nutritionists and all of that. And I'm not knocking it because I'm back in school to become a naturopathic doctor and become an herbalist and do nutrition and stuff. But you really cannot get everything that your body needs from just food, in my opinion, and from what I have studied and seen, just especially depending on your food quality, you kind of need to supplement with some things, because you're going to be lacking vitamins, minerals, nutrients. You're not eating a good holistic diet, just the way that food has been grown and just cultivated now with agriculture and seeds and soil. And but I digress. How have you seen supplementation be great for your clients?
Yeah, well, and just, we're in agreement, food today is not the same nutritionally as it was, 50 years ago, 10 years ago. Like it's ever evolving, we're depleting the nutrients out of the soils. Like there's all kinds of reasons why we may not be getting the same nutritional value as we did back in the day. But at the same time, we also lead very busy lives, right? And so we've all seen this growth of like, the fast food eating or just even like the healthy eating, but eating it fast, right? Like trying to get healthy fast food in different forms as well. And so the nature of our society is we're busy, we're on the go, thinking that we're actually going to create 5 to 6 balanced meals every single day is a little impossible. Not to say that it's not possible, but it's just, for most people, it's just not going to happen. And so, a lot of times, for when working with my clients on their nutrition and incorporating, say, like a healthy meal replacement smoothie or a metabolism boosting tea, these are things that can help enhance and just make someone's life a little easier, right? Because if you can get, let's just say, a plate, like a 2,500 to 3,000 calorie plate full of nutrients, but packed into like a couple 100-calorie smoothie, I mean, imagine what value that's doing for your body, right? Because you're getting all the nutrients, but you're not getting all the calories. So you're not having to go and work it all off, right? Because that's what we did back in the day. We were very active, always kind of like walking somewhere or doing manual labor, right? So we're not burning the same kind of calories that we used to. And, even the people who are exercising all the time, it's just like, it's a fine balance of calories in, calories out. And so with supplementation, it really helps to make it easier for someone to not only follow a structure, but also gives a little peace of mind of knowing like, hey, I know that I'm at least getting 1 to 2 really good nutrient dense meals out of all my crazy rest of the day, right? And then of course, kind of like what you're saying, is just like there's a lot of other ways that we can enhance our nutrition through like probiotics, extra fiber. We're definitely not getting enough fiber out of our day. And there's a whole slew of different ways that you can enhance that nutrition, and the easiest way that I have found has been through supplementation. And I know there's a handful of people that don't believe in it, and that's totally fine. It's just that you just have to be willing to do the work to make sure that you're getting the nutrition out of all the different foods that you're eating, because I know sometimes I'll have a customer, they're like, oh, why do I have to have this smoothie every day? And I was like, well, obviously what you're doing for breakfast isn't working, so why not give this a try, right? So it's one of those things. And that's the other thing too, right? Like, you're very active, you're very fit, and it's just like, are you going to take advice from someone, who doesn't resemble what it is that you want to look at or look for, as you're going after your goals? And so I practice what I preach. I have a smoothie every day. I have my metabolism boosting tea every day. And granted, that helps me keep up with my little 2.5-year-old. But at the same time, it's just, it's just the art of feeling good. And if I can do it in a way that's super convenient and easy, then you got me,
Right. Yeah, that is so funny. It's like, I have a friend who's a mom, and she's like, there's another mom that would always try to give her advice, and it's like her kids are crazy. It's like, first of all, I didn't ask you for advice, and I'm not going to ask you, because look at your kids. It's the same thing. Yeah. And if it's not working, try something else. You're totally right. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that you feel the same way in regards to supplementation. Yeah. I think, it's different for everyone, but definitely look at what you're taking, make sure it's good quality and everything. And we need it, because even with different vitamins, that like vitamin C, for example, is water soluble. So basically when you take it, it dissolves, like it does what it's supposed to do for that day and that time, and then that's it. So it's not like I can take one vitamin C pill and then I'm good for the whole week. No, you'll need to supplement every single day, so that you get stores in your body, so that when you need it, it's stored, but it's going to be gone, because of the water in your body. So it's just stuff like that. Like, you want to make sure you're getting what you need. So I agree.
Well, Victoria, if I can add too, and you kind of touched on a little point, is just that the other piece of what I try to share with others is that be willing to spend the money on quality products, right? Because it's funny, I have the protein, the post-recovery protein powder that I like to recommend. It's not cheap, right? It's got, you know, like let's call it 3 or 4 products in one, you know, one canister.
Mm-hmm.
And I, you know, I'll get the pushback of like, oh, hey, you know, I can go to Costco and I can buy a $40 tub of protein. And I was like, well, that's great. You can drink that 40 tub of protein and see no results, or you can buy an $80, you know, tub of protein and actually see results, you know? So
Absolutely.
the products aren't created equal, and, you know, do your research, you know, what you need to, but be willing to put in a little bit of extra, money into it, because to your point, it's just like, it's one thing if you're going to take supplements, it's another thing if you're going to actually take supplements that are actually going to do what they say that they're going to do.
Right. Yeah. And to also add to that, you're exchanging for something. So a lot of people, just like with working out, they work out for a week and they're like, oh, I want to lose 20 pounds. They work out for a week and they lost like 3, and they're mad because they didn't lose 20 in 1 week, but it took them like a year to gain those 20 pounds.
Yeah.
You know, so there's an exchange in everything, you know, an exchange of your time to do the working out and to commit to it. And just like you were saying with the products, you can exchange your money for bettering yourself and your health and your wellness in the long term, or you can exchange your money for fast food and making yourself sicker in the long term, to then also pay more money to doctors for medicine, that all, you know, all those things. So I totally agree. You have to definitely weigh your options, and cheaper is not always better.
Right.
So yeah, I agree. So I think you kind of already answered about like why you started your business, but was there anything else maybe you wanted to add to that? Why, like, I know you said you were back and forth about it, but
yeah, well, and I will say, like, when I first got into health and fitness and coaching people, you know, I didn't have a shop. You know, it was all through, you know, running different types of programs like weight loss challenges and just different types of fit camps and just different ways that the community got together, and then working with those people that had specific goals. And, you know, and I did that out in California, you know, for a certain amount of time, to a point where, you know, just like everything, you know, businesses evolve and the way that we do business changes. And so one of the grand ideas of making these, you know, making healthy smoothies available on the daily, and that was just like, I would love to do that in California, but there's no way I can afford the rent out there. Like, it was just, it's a little cray-cray out in California when it comes to renting a space out there. And so, you know, having the opportunity to come out to Louisville, where one, you know, I do feel like when I first started looking into this city, there was maybe 1 or 2 like higher end fitness studios. And this was like, I want to say 3 or 4 years ago. So I'm thinking like, okay, if this town is, you know, bringing and welcoming fitness studios, nutrition is not too far behind, right?
No.
So that was something for me. I was like, okay, this town's ready and they're willing and ready to embrace nutrition. So it was kind of like, okay, you know, here we go. And so, you know, the startup cost of being able to open up a shop wasn't as crazy as if I wanted to open, let's say, like a franchise, you know, healthy salad business or something like that. You know what I mean? So it was definitely something where I was like, okay, I need to make some changes. I need to make some, you know, bold moves. And so then that's where, you know, taking my business and changing the methods of which I was reaching people, that's where this kind of came about. And so it was kind of stemmed from the idea of like, one, having my son out in California, and like, okay, if I'm going to do things now, I better do it before he's running around everywhere. And and so then that's where the decision to come out here a couple of years ago to start my business with the nutrition shop was formulated.
Very smart. So yeah, I mean, maybe there's someone that will watch this that is maybe interested in doing something similar in their town or whatever. That's very true to consider that, because you're totally right. When I think about it, I mean, we had like Cycle Bar, and like Pure Bar, maybe Orange Theory. I don't know if they were even here
That
yet.
was who I saw, was Orange Theory down in Highlands.
Yes, so yeah, Orange Theory, and then Shred 415, I think soon after that. So yeah, Louisville is definitely we've always kind of been a foodie town, and I think now we've got like a lot of national recognition for that, but I'm glad like the wellness is coming in too, you know, and like
we got to work off all those calories from all the
right.
food we're eating.
Right, all those hot browns and all those people drinking all that bourbon, you know, they got to work it off somehow. So yeah, it's cool that we're coming full circle with that. And I think actually one of the things that I want to say kind of led to this was our mayor starting like the hike, bike, and paddle. I think multiple times with Memorial Day and Labor Day weekend. They do it twice a year to try to make Louisville healthier. Like they doing this whole healthy initiative, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I don't know how I randomly thought of that, but that's all great advice. So kind of the same thing. What advice would you have for someone that's maybe interested in starting their own wellness business? Maybe they are doing online coaching, or maybe they've kind of done some things in the community, but they want to take it to the next level. Like, what advice would you have?
Yeah, you know, I think that depending on the way that you look at it, I think that there's the part of me that wants to say, build the community and let that create the demand for you to have, you know, like your business in place, right? Like, I guess it kind of just depends on, you know, what direction or what avenue someone's looking to go. But I do feel like, you know, when you have something to offer that's unique, that's different, you know, here's what I say I love about Louisville is that people here love supporting local, and they love, and then everybody knows everybody, which is like crazy, but true. Like I wouldn't have thought so, but then I'm like, dang, people really do know everybody here. Somehow they're connected, right?
Yeah.
And I just feel that, you know, as you know, start creating that niche of like, okay, this is who I am, this is what I offer, and getting, you know, that word out there, and just really creating relationships with your community and all the people in the community. I think that's where it can really flourish. I also think where you intend to, you know, in a sense, open business can be different, or can be something to consider as well. Like, I will tell you the one thing that I think, at least what I've observed, is that here in Louisville, there are, not that there are a ton, but there are more options for people to choose healthy foods than in Shepherdsville. And I will tell you, Shepherdsville is way more busier. The shop down there is way more busier than in Louisville, because there's nothing like it down there. And so that's what I mean is that but they were ready for it too. I think we kind of like were really lucky in catching that town where, because I bet you like 5 or 10 years ago, you know, they probably wouldn't want to have anything to do with anything healthy, right? But I think now enough people are more aware of their health and wanting some choices, that we came in at a good time where people were ready to embrace, you know, healthy options. And then there was nothing there. So for us to come in, it was really, it was very well received. And so, you know, for anyone trying to start their business, it's like also looking at your market and who are you competing with, right? Because at my Broadway location, I'm competing with all the other downtown and like even just surrounding like 15-mile radius of Louisville, all the other options that people have, where down south I don't.
Right.
So that's, you know, another thing, you know, as someone who's looking into it can consider. And then of course, I will say it's like the other aspect is, you know, making the connections with the right people so that you know exactly what to do to actually start your business, right? Like getting your LLC, you know, getting any funding if you need funding, doing your business plan, and really honing it. Marketing is a huge aspect, right, of opening up a business. And so, okay, well, what's your marketing plan? And so, you know, having all that kind of dialed in, but at the same time, you know, if you're out there in the community doing what you love, doing what you're doing, building that community, that demand will be created by the time you're ready to open up your business.
Great advice.
Yeah.
Great advice. So I hope that helps someone. And then I guess my last question before my fun fact question that I always ask is, what small steps can someone take today that wants to like go to the next level in their fitness and their nutrition?
Hmm.
Or I can.
Oh no, no. If you were going to add on to that, please.
I was going to say, maybe I can make it a little bit more general. Like maybe someone is getting started, or let's say, so someone who's getting started, maybe someone who's already pretty fit. Somebody who works out maybe three days a week, eats pretty good. So maybe two different levels of fitness there.
Yeah, no, I will tell you the biggest, it's funny because people ask me, well, what's the best diet? And I'm like, the best diet's going to be the one that you actually stick to. And the thing is that in, I think, a lot of aspects of our lives, consistency is one of the biggest deterrents of us reaching our goals.
I agree.
And so whether you're just getting started or whether you've, been at it for a while, it's really just getting clear on what can I do, whether it's daily or, every other day or once a week or whatever that time frame is for you, that you can actually commit to and do, day in, day out, or week in, week out, because consistency is what's going to bring you those results, because I think you were mentioning it earlier. It's just like, oh man, I worked out for a week and I only lost a pound when you're expecting to lose 20. Well, obviously, that's not going to happen. But if you think about it too, from a yearly perspective, right? Imagine if you lost a pound, gained 2 pounds, lost 3 pounds, gained 1 pound, lost 3 pounds, gained 2 pounds, and you were just up and down and up and down. At the end of the year, guess what? You probably still lost 20 pounds. But, a lot of people get so in their head when they get off track or something kind of throws them through the loop. But if they just stayed consistent, that at the end of it all, the bigger picture is that they would have reached their goal, and I think people just give up way before that even happens. And so the biggest advice I can give is just whatever it is that you choose to do to get one step healthier is just be consistent at what you choose to do. Absolutely.
That is such good advice. I think that's something that people lack, is that discipline. It really is. That's very, very good.
I mean, I'm right there too. I'm human.
Oh.
So.
Oh yeah, I was in Florida this past weekend and a little bit of the week, and every time I'm just like, oh, I can have that salted caramel cheesecake. I'm on vacation. What else would I wouldn't eat that on a normal basis. I'm on vacation. I'm like, every time I say something, I'm on vacation. Why not?
But guess what? You come back and you just get right back into it.
Yep. Yep. And your body, I think, you start to crave certain things. Like, I drink my greens and my different things. I crave those things. It's become such a habit that after you eat, especially junk, you don't want it anymore. It's like, I don't want that. I want my shakes, or I want my, my wholesome food. Your body craves it. I know it's crazy. People are like, that's not true, but you really do. You really do crave it the more you have those good things. So yes, thank you so much. I feel like this has been such a good conversation. I really have really enjoyed it. But before we go, I want to ask you for your fun fact. I always like to ask all of my co-hosts for that. It's always interesting.
Yes. Well, if I may, I'm going to give you two.
Yeah.
One is that I'm half Japanese, which
really?
A lot of people wouldn't figure that, but my mother's Japanese, and so obviously that makes me half Japanese.
Yeah.
And I have a twin. So I have a twin brother.
Wow.
And, yeah, so those are the, most people, they don't know that, well, one, that I have siblings, but two, the fact that one of my siblings is my twin. So.
Yeah. So do you all look a lot alike?
Yeah, I actually look more like my older brother and myself look more like my mom. And then my twin actually looks more like my dad, even though he still has black hair like we do. But his face is not as round as ours are. So, so it's funny. Most people actually thought that my older brother was my twin versus my actual twin.
That's funny. And do you speak any Japanese?
I do not.
Okay, that's okay. It's just like I teach Zumba and I don't speak Spanish, although I wish I did.
Yep, I remember I took one of your classes. It was so fun.
Yes. Oh my gosh, well, thank you so much, Susan. But before we go, how can the viewers get in touch with you and, stay in touch with everything that you're doing? I'm going to tag all of
Yes.
your accounts, by the way, just to
Yes, thank you. Yeah, so between the business accounts, obviously, but then also my own personal account, you can get me at S as in Susan, G as in Gibson, and then the number 4 wellness. So at SG for wellness, and then and of course, if you need to reach me through email or phone, all of that information is on our business Instagram handles, and you can reach me there.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And of course, watch out for the other shop that's going to be opening. I'll tag that on there as well, so you can follow and stay in the know and go there as well. Thank you so much, Susan.
Yes, thank you so much, Victoria. This was so fun. Thank you so
you're
much.
very welcome. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Monday. And until next week, thank you for joining us for Monday's Muse, your weekly wellness dose. I'll see y'all next time.
Happy Monday.
All right, bye.